I want to talk more about leadership again, because I do think we've had similar journey in that our careers were in the 80s and the 90s, and I think the philosophy then was to try to take people like us and to basically mold us to be successful leaders in a man's world. I mean, I still remember being told, this is how you should dress, this is how you should act. I actually had an experience when AOL was merged into Time Warner where I got a coach, an executive coach, who literally told me to try to act like a man. I mean, he said, you really should act more like a man. You should dress differently, you're too emotional, you use your hands too much. So this was what I was told in 2000 when I had an executive coach. And I had a great boss at AOL, this is Ted, who pulled me into a room and he said, don't listen to a word they're saying. Don't listen to a word they're saying, because to be a leader, you need to be authentic, and no one will want you to lead them if you're fake. You have to be true to yourself, and I really took that lesson, and I know, that was the attitude of the team that you led to when you were at advertising.com.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I'll fast forward because there are certain things, so not only are you hiring for your strengths, but I also think it's really important that you're in an environment that appreciates you for your authenticity.
That's a great point.
I mean, that's so important, and in this case, and what's so great, I'm sure a lot of you in this room feel it too, especially if you're just starting out in your career or you're joining companies who, certainly when I was your age, weren't even around. I mean, if you think about something like a Facebook, we're a teenager. And there are entire companies that are built making sure that the corporate culture itself, it embraces and inspires diversity of thought, of background, of any definition of diversity, and then encourages the conversation so that there's never a scenario that someone is taking you into a room and telling you, don't be your authentic self, you have to look different and act differently. I'm finding that I mean, God, can you imagine if that happened right now? Like, forget it, they'd be done. But
out there in social media.
No, it'd be ridiculous. And so I feel like there's a level of embracing of differences now that just wasn't there 20 years ago, which I feel incredibly fortunate. And so again, the merits and the metrics and the data itself proves that people are going to do better under this kind of a scenario. But that whole authenticity piece is so, so, so important. And I would also say that what's different now than when we were starting out in our careers, one of our leaders, our chief operating officer, Sheryl Sandberg, says this: you're not climbing a career ladder. So it's not like, if I wear the nude hose and the blouse with the tie and have my fabulous 1980s perm, I'm going to get to the next level and the next level and the next level. It's a jungle gym. And so you have to be comfortable course correcting, taking a different job, taking a step back in your career to learn a new industry, or to go work for someone who inspires you. In the olden days, don't say old, sorry.
We're not old now.
Never mind. In earlier days of our careers, you wouldn't have done that, because I would have worried that on my resume you'd be like, oh, you used to run a $2 million business and now you took a $1 million account. What's wrong with you? Did you get fired? Did you leave? And none of those things really matter anymore. And it's about the experience and the opportunity to work for somebody that you really respect.